I want to welcome you to Heart in the Fight. My name is Daniel. I am the creator and co-host of this show. Normally, we do this post event show on Street Beefs Live, but since the entire Street Beefs team is out, we're hosting this on our channel. Before we start, I always want to acknowledge that this post-event show is being virtually produced by my esteemed colleague, Tunde. If this is your first time watching a post-event show, we invite Streetbeefs Branch leaders and fighters to offer their perspective, the reflections, and some of their insights that transpired throughout the day, and what they learned, and what they want to employ into the next fight event. So before we jump into the show, I want to remind you to like this video, follow Heart in the Fight on Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, and certainly subscribe to the YouTube channel to get more access to future content. And as well, follow all the Street Beefs content so that you get firsthand experience. Now, for the past 2 days, right? And so we're talking about Friday, April 23rd and Saturday, April 24th. There were 2 huge events that went down at Street Beefs West Coast in California and Scrapyard in the state of Washington. There were some newcomers invited to the event, as well as some familiar names like Buddy V, Gash, $1 Million Hands, Hitman, and Walk Lobster. And so there was certainly a lot of talent and a lot of fights that you will get access to pretty soon. Continue to follow all these Street Beefs branches, whether that's on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook, and also on the Instagram. So on the show, we will have Fire Chicken, Tiny Tank, Bushido Zed, and a number of other fighters that were at those events. There's a lot to go through, so make sure you sit tight and enjoy this show. So let's welcome our first guest, the branch leader of Scrapyard, Fire Chicken.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm relieved that the event's over. There's a lot of stress leading up to those things, so it's kind of a relaxing day. I get to work on editing fights and uploading stuff.
So tell me a little bit about the event. So what were some highlights that came out from your event yesterday?
Oh, geez. The event went great. We just did like a huge landscaping project around the cage right before the event, and I think that helped out a lot because it rained yesterday, so it allowed people to bring pop-up tents and kind of set up. But we ended up with about, I want to say around 20 matches. We don't typically do a whole ton of matches at our place, but that's about the number we usually have. Some great matches. I'll go over more of them after we talk to Doughboy here, but some of the big ones that I can say were the Gash versus Illuminate the State fight. Sorry, I got them pulled up here. The Demigod versus Epic Tan fight was amazing. Buddy V versus Doughboy, but just a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, were there any particular fighters that impressed you, whether they were new to the yard or just fighters who've been progressing over time?
Gash, I've watched her from our second event, I think it was, and I've watched her progressively get better, and it was amazing seeing her fight this last event. I Illuminate the State also, he made improvements over his first fight. Buddy V is another one that I've watched continuously climb and get better, and it's really cool seeing these fighters get that drive to improve their skills time and time again.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, especially for someone like you who get to see fighters throughout their entire journey at Street Beefs. And so I know you mentioned a little bit about the bracket or about the tournament. So if you can fill that in for the audience who are viewing for the first time or who know a little bit about it, but since they're not on the yard, you have more details to share.
All right. So we are a newer branch. We started about back in July. So we are just kind of now getting around to forming titles. Our first title was the 155-pound boxing title. Golden Hands currently holds that, but we wanted to come up with a MMA title, so we went with a 155 title. Gumby ended up winning it, but Gumby ended up pursuing his amateur MMA career and left, so that vacated the title. So we basically set up a tournament with 8 fighters, 7 or 8 fighters, and it spanned over 3 months. And some of the fighters in there were like Doughboy, Buddy V, Hitmonlee, Blacksmith, some really good fighters in there. And it started in February, and that was the first round. Second round was March, and April was the title fight, or it was supposed to be. The match that was supposed to happen this month were the 2 fighters that made it all the way through the tournament, and that was Hitmonlee versus Doughboy. Now, unfortunately, Hitmonlee had some stuff come up, and he was not able to fight in the championship match. But we went back and we looked at everybody in the tournament and who deserved the title fight. Now, I did grant Doughboy the title because I felt that he had done enough with winning all of his matches to clinch that title. So I wanted him to defend his title at this event. And I looked back and I go, well, who deserves a title defense? And one person that really stood out to me was Buddy V, mainly because his fight with Hitmonlee was so close that could have gone either way with the decision. And I felt like he really deserved that shot. And that match definitely lived up to the expectations.
Word. Well, I'm glad that we have Doughboy online, and so we'll be able to bring him to the show to talk about that fight. So let's bring on Doughboy. Hey, Doughboy, how you doing, man?
What's up, guys? I know it's kind of hard to hear me. I'm actually at the airport, so I got a flight in a little bit. So I gotta hop on here for a few and talk to the fight. So,
well,
what's up, Daniel? It's good to meet you, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. Of course, absolutely. Any reflections about your fight?
I like how Fire Chicken kind of alluded the last round with Buddy V and Hitmonlee. I mean, you could have flipped a coin. If you go back and watch that, it could have went either way, honestly. I mean, so when Fire Chicken gave me the opportunity, because I mean, I know we're out here, Scrapyard's in Washington State. I'm flying from Illinois, so it's a long trip, and I know it was still a tournament, and Hitmonlee technically won the last round. But in my eyes, I didn't see it as like I was the champ. So, I mean, I just wanted to still come out and basically just have the last round, so to speak, of the tournament, and just kind of solidify the belt winning, so to speak. But yeah, Buddy V brought it, man. I'm happy he came up, and I'm happy he actually took that fight with me. So it made the trip worth it for sure.
And so the question is, how many trips, right? Especially you're coming from all the way from Illinois. And so do you think you'll be able to sustain being able to defend that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just trying to get better and better. I know Fire Chicken also. Again, I think Buddy V, man, I've actually watched a lot of his videos too. So I'm happy he brought the fight to me, because I mean, it's just gonna overall make me a better fighter as well. So I'm excited for the next. Me and Fire Chicken are working up some plans, so I'm excited for the next. Yeah, man, yeah, I'm excited for the next. The page in Doughboy book for sure. Sorry, I got a lot on my mind just with travel and stuff, so it's hard to focus.
No, certainly. And so what has been some of the highlights of your journey at Scrapyard?
I would say like the first thing that honestly stands out is like the camaraderie. I know it's a fight. Like once the cage door shut, it's it's time to literally scrap, like the name says. But the camaraderie, man, everyone's always open arms and stuff. And I mean, you of course want to personify that as well. You know, you want to keep that torch lit for everyone and making an open door policy so everyone feels comfortable with just what they want to get better. I mean, that's all it's for. The drama and the back and forth stuff is for another day and a time. I just like going out there and just, literally just scrapping and having a good time doing it, learning.
And so for those who are watching this for the first time and learning about you, where can they follow you so that they can track your journey?
As far as social media, I would say at Kendo gets buckets. I need to change that header because it's kind of an older header. It's kind of washed. I used to play basketball and baseball, so
I can tell by the name. Get buckets.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of nicknames over the years, and I don't know. A lot of people still give me a little flack for the Doughboy name, but it's just come from a nickname. So my name is Ken or Kenneth. So, I mean, everyone always just called me Kendo growing up. So I guess I broke it down into Doughboy. So that's kind of the backstory with that.
All right, word. So I don't want to ruin some of your future plans, but what can people expect from you in the future?
I mean, as I'm sitting here in the airport, I think that's the one thing I can kind of put out there is, I mean, if I'm jumping on these planes and I'm making these trips, if you can put two and two together, I think that's that's kind of a little backstory. I don't want to put too much out there because I don't want to speak anything not into existence, but me and my man Fire Chicken, we got some stuff working, and I hope it all works out the way it needs to, for sure. I'm ready to get home. I'm going to take a few days off. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm going to take a few days off, but I'm definitely getting right back in the gym for sure.
Well, sounds great, brother. I definitely don't want to delay you going home, and so we appreciate you for coming on the show, and we look forward to those plans coming to fruition. So thank you for joining the show.
Sorry it was so brief, man. And just a little quick tidbit. Yeah, how about the weekend? I didn't really get any of the fights just yet from the other branches, but I mean, all the organizations, man, they're just super exciting. So I'm ready to go home and get some film in and just get back to the drawing board.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, brother. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
You enjoy your. So we have, I mean, it certainly shows that he has dedication, right? Being able to fly back and forth to Scrapyard. I mean, he could have chose other yards to go to, but he chose yours. And so why do you think he chose yours? What is unique about your branch that will draw someone to fly over to go to and fight in your yard?
You know what? I don't know. I think all the branches just appeal in different ways to different people because there are people that specifically fly out to the West Coast to fight. And there's people that obviously, I mean, the main branch it speaks for itself. You know, you're in the OG yard. And then there's just stuff about us that people like too. Maybe it's the look of the environment. Maybe they see the camaraderie, the sportsmanship, and they want to be part of that. It's really hard to tell, but we do have guys like Demigod and Doughboy that do fly out here over and over again that like being out here.
Yeah. Well, congrats on being able to recruit talent from other states. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment, right? Being able to see that your brand translates the area or translates further than the area that you are hosting your events.
Definitely.
So with that, we have Gash, right? The fighter that you mentioned a little bit earlier about her progression as a fighter over time. And so we'll love to bring her on. Hey, Gash, how you doing?
I feel pretty good. I'm definitely riding that. I'm definitely riding the aftermath of getting a good W, getting the positive messages from people from online. It feels great.
So what is the difference, right? So you got your W this time around. And so what is the difference between getting it? I mean, the sentiments that you get when you get a W versus the ones that you've gotten in the past where you had close fights, but they resulted in a loss.
It's just more real. You know, if someone comes and compliments me and says, "Oh, you did so good," but I know I didn't do well, this doesn't affect me so much. But when I get a lot of praise and I know that I executed a plan basically flawlessly, that's what I was looking for. I did everything I was looking to do. I I knew he couldn't take a million low kicks. Um, like, maybe someone like Buddy V or something who ate a couple heavy low kicks kind of maybe was looking inside of me and thinking, uh, like maybe I now have some doubt about my power or something. But that guy was just tough. That guy was just tough, and I landed way more low kicks, and I was throwing them with a lot more conviction, a lot more athleticism. It wasn't just good technique. It was, big, strong, powerful legs, attacking into the intelligent spots to attack, starting it upright, not being antsy on the outside. I went in and comboed, pushed off, reset, got my tempo back with another combo, reset. It was the perfect pace. It annihilated this guy. He did not want to go down. I thought he was going to take a knee, but he didn't take a knee at all. The ref stepped in. The ref stepped in because he was going to lean up against the cage if he had to in order to support his weight. So that was kind of the fight I like. That's a fight that makes me really happy. That was getting a win in a pretty spectacular way. Pretty spectacular beat down. It was brutal. He didn't jump out of it. He didn't jump out of the fight. He didn't give himself an out. He, even though he had plenty of opportunities, so we got to see tons of punishment dished out on those legs, and then once he couldn't stand no more, then we started throwing those hands and landed those hooks, and the crosses to the body at the end was the last strike that landed before the referee waved it off. I thought the referee was going to give a standing 8. And I was like, okay, I'll have to go at this again. The referee waved it off immediately, though. So
when the referee stepped in and waved it off, what were your immediate feelings?
I caught myself because I was feeling really prideful. Felt like celebrating, but I decided to pay respects to my opponent. I caught myself and I decided to pay respects to my opponent. It was something I always knew that I was going to do. I felt very confident going into this fight. It doesn't mean much more than my next opponent is going to be tougher and harder. It's going to give me more of a challenge.
Yeah. So what's next for you then? I mean, now that you got this wave, you're riding on this wave, you got a W. So what's next?
A few months of training. We're going to let my ankle heal up fully, 100%. I jumped on this fight on kind of a whim when I shouldn't have. I had made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to fight again until August, but I broke that promise to myself because I just really wanted to fight. This has satiated me. This has satiated me to some degree. Maybe I'll get impatient and I'll ask Steve for a fight. There's a lot of people who I think make a lot of sense right now for me to fight next. Even if I were to fight just next month, not going to. I'm going to fight maybe August, and we're going to come as stronger, tougher, better technique, cleaner technique. Everything's going to be better. I'm going to milk out every advantage I can get. I need every advantage I can get.
Yeah, it always seems like you're always thinking about your future. You're always thinking about improvement and progression. And so congratulations on the win. I mean, the fights that you're always in are classics. I think if anyone is tuning in for the first time, if you haven't watched a Gash fight, you are doing yourself a disservice. You certainly got to watch her fight because she goes out there and as you heard, she brings forth the pain. She's not afraid, and so
We
I'm
brought
always
back
excited.
Pressure Gash. Pressure
Yeah,
Gash.
that's
We
right.
brought it back for this fight. You were walking away from it, but that's the style that's going to stick. It's going to be Pressure Gash.
That's right. And so make sure you check out Pressure Gash's fights. Make sure you follow her on her social media. For the fans who are watching, where can they follow you so that they can track your journey?
My Instagram handle is Gash Actual. If I post anything to YouTube on my private YouTube page, I'll post a link on my Instagram. So just check out my Instagram, Gash Actual, and you'll get to see training clips, and I'll update for my YouTube page.
All right. So any last words to all your fans?
This is just a small step, small victory. I have probably the potential to do this to someone all the way back in August. I'm going to have the more potential than ever before because all I am is stronger than I have been in the past.
All right. Well, thank you for joining the show. We really appreciate it, Gash. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Fire Chicken. So what's next for your yard?
Just going to keep doing what we're doing. I think we've got everything locked in the way that we want it to look and feel. Now it's just about continuously giving you guys quality fights every month.
Yeah. And I know that they can access those fights on your Facebook page and also on your YouTube channel. Is that right?
Yes. So Streetbeefs Scrapyard on YouTube. That's where we post all of our fights. Right after the event, we usually post a fight, and then every 2 days, we post another one, and we do that throughout the month until the next event. If you don't have patience and want to see all the fights right away, if you go to Streetbeefs Scrapyard on YouTube, there's this little join button, and if providing you don't have an iPhone and you do this on an Android or a PC, you will see that join button. And you can join what's called our early access. So we shoot with an alternate angle, and if you join the early access, it's $2.99 a month, but you get to see all the fights the day after they are shot. They're not edited at all. They're raw footage. You get to hear every mistake we make. You get to see every conversation between rounds. You get to see people do weird stuff. So it's kind of cool to do. It's not very expensive, and you get to see the fights right away. So it's an option, but all the fights do end up being public eventually. So, there is that too.
Yeah. That's awesome. Is there any way that people can support the branch outside of just watching the fights?
Yeah, the early access stuff that is supporting the branch. It's sort of a donation. There's different levels of it. We do have one I think it's $4.99 a month, and that's pretty much, it gets you everything that the other 2 levels get, but you're basically just helping out a little bit by throwing a little bit into the donation jar every month. People at the events do donate too. We do have a PayPal that we use, which is firechicken76@gmail.com, and that's our fund in case we need to buy something. Like I'm saving up for a shipping container to keep all of our materials that we need for fights in, and there's always expenses involved with running a branch like this. Everything from purchasing belts to cleaning the porta potty every month or so. There's stuff. So
That sounds good. Well, if you want to support Fire Chicken and Scrapyard Branch, certainly tune in to their fights, but also if you like to chip in, certainly donate. And I know that he goes live, and so when he does go live, go on there, throw him some super chats, and so he can answer your questions and engage in some dialogue. And you can always find us in there.
yeah.
So we always appreciate the time with you. thanks again for coming on the show. Any last things you want to say to the fans, those who are watching?
Nope. Just, make sure you get on there and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the fights. But I do want to say thank you because to all the fights, to the fighters, and everybody that has helped build the Scrapyard to what it is now. You guys mean so much to us because we wouldn't be here without you. It was a huge opportunity given to us by Scarface to allow us to be a branch of Street Beefs, and we continuously try to uphold the image that Scarface has put out there for Street Beefs. So again, thanks everybody. Thanks Heart in the Fight for supporting us from the beginning. I really do appreciate it.
Of course, brother. Well, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. So we have a little bit of Scrapyard giving you their assessment, their reflections from their past event. But make sure you're tuning in to see their videos drop. Show them some love. Subscribe to their channels. Plus, give them some really positive feedback, some comments, so that they can continue to build out and cultivate their talent in their branch. So with that, we bring on Street Beefs West Coast. So let's bring on our first guest. Well, actually, what's up, 619? How you doing, my man?
What up, man? What up, fam?
We're supposed to bring on Tiny Tank with you, so we'll just bring on both y'all. How about that? So how you feeling, 619?
Amazing,
Feeling good?
amazing. We the champ.
Oh, snap.
Champion
Hold
is
on.
home in San Diego. It's beautiful.
How you doing, Tiny
Hey,
Tank?
guys. Hey, what's up? My bad, guys. I'm over here trying to figure out how to get this connection right.
Well, can you can you tell us a little bit about the event? How did it go for you?
Yo, one second, guys.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Well, so since you're on 619, how did the event go for you?
It went beautiful. Smoking on the Canadian right now. I had my guy turn the Canadian soul into CBD oil. So we smoking the easy pack right now.
And so I'm gonna give a quick little disclaimer. So understand, Heart in the Fight, we give fighters autonomy to say what they want to say, right? Let them represent themselves how they want to be represented. And so we don't put limitations on them. We don't say you can't say this unless it crosses Street Beefs rules and agreements. I mean, that's where we draw the line. But outside of that, we allow them to do and say whatever they want, right? To express themselves. And just know that this is all out of fun. This is competitive banter. And so what they say is not personal. And so what they might say also is not reflective of Heart in the Fight in general. But we allow them to say what they want. Is that right, 619?
Absolutely, man.
All right, so let's talk about your fight. Right, so we know leading up, this was a huge anticipated fight between you and the Canadian. And so you get to the yard. How are you feeling?
I was feeling good when we pulled up. Izzy was like started mad. Trying to get in my head. He was like bad dogging me. I get out. What's up, Andy? You ready, Andy? And trying to play mind games like that, but that shit don't work on me. While I'm wrapping my hands, he's trying to stare me down and shit in the distance. Come on, Andy, it's time. I was like, that shit don't work on me. You know what I mean? It's cute. It don't work. You know what I mean? Can't psych me out.
And so how long did that go before you actually fought?
Got there maybe an hour after I got there. Weddle fought before me, and then I got to corner Weddle's match that lasted a whole 15 seconds. And then it was time to wrap my hand and get ready for my hand.
Yeah, don't give too much of that fight.
My bad.
So you wrap your hands, you get into the ring with the Canadian. He's standing across from you. What's going through your head?
He's trying to do that Mike Tyson shit, because I know Mike Tyson is his idol. So he's looking at me trying to do the Mike Tyson thing. I'm just laughing at him. That shit don't work on me. You can't psych me out. I'm excited in there. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I can't wait to punch him in the mouth. So I'm just smiling back. And yeah, it was good. Those shit don't work on me, Izzy. You try it, but that shit don't work.
And so let me ask you this: is he as powerful as many people believe he is?
No, absolutely not. He's not.
So was there anything that surprised you in your fight with him?
Surprised he didn't do his. I was waiting for his bob and weave, that Mike Tyson bullshit he tries to pull off, followed by his crazy left, but he never did that. He just, I think everything, just like Mike Tyson said, mijo, everybody has a game plan until you get punched in your motherfucking mouth. And that's what happened when that left hook landed, huh, Izzy? Followed by that straight right. We were like, oh, shit. This is going to be a long day. And it was. 5-round beatdown. 5-0. Not even close.
Okay. And so in the end, were you guys able to shake it up, dap each other?
Yeah. We were cool when I got there. Even when I fought Golden Arms, I said what's up to Golden Arms, like, you ready for this, papa? And that's how it is. It's all good. Afterwards, we drank Modelo's together. Free smoke out there. Was smoking biggest blunt I've ever seen in my life. Everybody's having a good time. So yeah,
it's all love at the end of this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It has to be love. Before the fight, talk shit, talk all that shit about I'm gonna beat your ass, Andy. All that shit. The night before, he was on live talking crazy shit.
I know. I was on that live, so I know.
He talked so much. He was rolling blunts, saying, "I'm gonna roll up. I'm smoking a 619 pack before the fight." What? Talking about? I can't wait for the fight to come out. But he got a chin, and I knew he had heart because he's been in some wars in there. So I knew he was gonna hang in there and just take it and take it and take it.
So how does it feel to now be announced as the new light heavyweight champion?
It feels amazing, man. It feels amazing. This would have been done last August when we should have fought, and he probably would have been like 1-5 this year. But yeah, he kept his streak going, carefully keeping the streak going. Faked that bullshit injury. We all know he never broke his foot. We all know a 400-pound castle door doesn't exist. You know what I mean? He just needed 2 more months to train and didn't do shit. He would have been better off fighting me when I fought Golden Arms. I didn't train for Golden Arms. I was chilling and just said, I'm down to fight. He would have been better off flying in and catching me that weekend in Vegas where I wasn't on my game. He would have had a better chance.
Okay, so what's next? So now you fought the Canadian. What's next for you? What's on your horizon as the champion?
I mean, I don't know who's even in consideration to fight me next. Everybody has an L against me except Weddle pretty much and Walk Lobster. Walk Lobster looked amazing on Friday, man. That kid, I thought I was looking at myself. I was like, God damn, Walk Lobster is a beast. That boy having fun in there, slipping. Him and Golden Arms had a beautiful boxing match. And even Weddle looked over and be like, that's going to be your hardest fight right there. That boy is good. I was like, yeah, Walk Lobster is nasty with it. He's a natural boxer. So I'm thinking it's going to be Walk Lobster. Another fight for him. Izzy said he wants an immediate rematch. No, mijo, you don't get no immediate rematch. Sorry, you can fight Silas and the winner maybe fights me next.
Okay, and then what's going on with the fight with Gorilla?
Oh, so Gorilla hit me up in my DMs. When was it? Yesterday. he actually does that, man. He's cool. He sent me a friend request followed by a DM, and he was like, "So what's up? It's me or Venom?" You know what I mean? This was fun. He actually does do that. He wasn't lying when he said he was in Cornflakes DMs asking me when they're gonna fight. So I like that. He's not fake with it. And I told him honestly, after watching that live you guys did, I want to punch Venom Black in the mouth more than I want to punch you, because I really don't have any dislike versus Gorilla. That was like I call out because I got so much respect for him, you know. So it wasn't like Gorilla's trash. I'm gonna do this and that. No, I just want to call him out because I think he's the best guy out there. But Venom Black, like what? How you beat up hillbillies in the sticks and you think you nice? What? Yes, I'm gonna embarrass Venom Black for running his mouth.
Well, he is the king of the hill, right? When we think about street beefs in general, when we think about what titles, I don't even want to compare the titles. I just know, right? Street beefs has been around for a very long time, and certainly he has been the prominent figure in this division. And so a fight with him certainly, I think, will be a classic in the future. So hopefully, I mean, that goes down the line. But until then, we have Walk Lobster, who's looking really good, as you mentioned, and potentially that might be a fight up next.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Walk Lobster or the winner of Canadian Silas. I know Silas says he wants that rematch. MDH wants a rematch. So sit back, let them let my niños fight each other, until it's time to come back to Papi.
All right. Well, any last messages to those who are watching?
Venom Black, you're trash. You never fought a Mexican. The first time you fight a Mexican, your soul will be taken. It will be rolled up and smoked the way I'm smoking the Canadian pack right now. Ooh, it tastes like wait. It tastes like St. Louis right here. You know what I mean? Easy. I like the way you do it right here. Ain't no way some kid from St. Louis was gonna come to my state and beat me. Woo!
All right, sounds good, brother. Well, we appreciate the time, man. And then for those who are watching, make sure you tune in to Weddle and the Mexican, and that will be airing this Thursday coming up. So make sure you tune in to get the reflections.
I can't wait for that. Thursday is gonna be a good one. One for the books, Daniel.
All right, absolutely. Looking forward to it, brother. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, bro.
And congratulations. All right. So now we have the new light heavyweight champion. As you can see, he has his eyes set on a number of people. So if you're looking to get in his horizon, make sure you have some really impressive fights and then talk to your branch leaders to see if you can get that set up. So with that, let's actually bring on Tiny Tank. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
It's always interesting when you bring on 619 or you bring on any of the fighters from the West Coast because you don't know what's coming.
For real.
And so tell me a little bit, how was the event yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah, on Friday, man. It was awesome. I say the same thing every time, but I mean, it really, really was amazing. Yo, we got there, everything was smooth. We got this down pat to where we get the fights going quick, so got there, got everybody weighed in, saying what's up to all the returning fighters, meeting all the new ones, got the fights going on, and man, I can't wait till you guys watch those fights, yo. It was some really, really good ones.
So any good fights that you want people to be anticipating?
Definitely. So Southpaw fought last time we were in California as well. He fought and it was a good match then. It was a really good match, but this time around, man, he came back and he told me he was gonna put on a show, and he really did. He went up against a newcomer, sadly, and they just put on a show. So that's one that you guys definitely have to look out for.
Okay. Is there any fighters that just really impressed you? Like you just saw that there was marginal gains from the last time they showed up at the yard?
Okay, from difference from the last time of them fighting, Golden Arms did really good. I think Golden Arms really has been working, So Walk Lobster, also every time I see him fight, he took on a boxing match this time. I was just like, man, this guy can scrap. So those two for sure. But newcomers really, really, really impressed me too. We had two guys, T-Banger, and actually one of these guys came to the event in Vegas, and he didn't get a fight. We selected him again, and he showed up and he showed out because They threw down, man. It was really good boxing match.
Yeah, and then how was the $1 million hands versus Hitman?
You guys gotta watch that because, hey, man, it's funny because most of the times, you see $1 million hands at the events, and he's a super cool guy, super, you know, always with a smile on his face, and chilling. This time, dude, he had his chair and he was sat down like away from the cage, and I just saw like something different, man. I think he felt a little bit, I don't know if disrespected or something, with Hitman, him being 0-1 and $1 million hands having multiple fights, and I think he showed it in the cage, man. He got down.
Yeah, and I know that there were two East Coast fighters that came to the yard, right?
Yep, Unknown and Fair Play, man. I love those dudes.
And who did they fight?
So, Unknown fought. Wait, Fair Play. My bad. Fair Play fought Wild Goose, and
Oh man,
fought Vegeta Black.
oh man, those had to be bangers. I can only, yeah. I mean, those four gentlemen. I mean, if you've never watched any of the fights, definitely check them out because they go to war whenever they go in the yard. Because
yeah.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine what that was like.
Yeah, it was super cool, and man, it was cool before the fights were going. I went up to Unknown and to Fair Play, and I'm like, hey, you guys know who you guys are matched up with? Because I mean, I think not before the event, but at the event, as soon as they got there, Wild Goose and Vegeta Black knew that who they were going to fight. So I wanted to make sure Fair Play and Unknown knew as well. And Unknown told me, he's like, yeah, as soon as we saw who was picked, I kind of had an idea I was going to be fighting Wild Goose. So he was ready, and man, they threw down, dude.
So if East Coast fighters want to go to the West Coast and want to fight in the branch, how can they make that happen?
Just hit me up. Just be in the Facebook group, make a post, man. We want to have all you guys, all the East Coast guys over here. So all our fighters when we're there are excited when we see OG fighters, and it's not even like a competition thing really when they're over here. You can ask them and they'll tell you like we welcome them and make them feel like part of the family. It is street beefs, but I want them to feel part of Street Beefs West Coast family as well. So as long as they're in the group, or they don't even got to be in the group, just hit me up, make it known that they want to come out here, and we'll put them on the card for sure.
And what were your impressions on the 619 versus the Canadian championship fight?
Man, yo, I'm friends with a lot of these guys now. Like it's seeing them month after month, being in the group with them all the time, seeing how they think, seeing their posts and all that. So I'm close to a lot of these guys, man. So I'm emotionally invested in a lot of these matches, man. And this, I was, holding on, clenching my fist the whole time, because it was dope, man. And I don't know, I really enjoyed the match.
Yeah, it's certainly nerve-wracking, and I'm not even a branch leader, right? So I just know them, like we're constantly in communication with them. And so, yeah, we help in tandem. It seems like we partner to help create buzz around their fights. But then when they actually do fight, like I'm nervous just as well. I'm like, man, hopefully, hopefully it ends up well for both of them.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, man. Like you want to see them do well, but like I think that's what makes a good fight too, though. Like it's all right when someone isn't like getting knocked out and it actually goes the whole distance, but it's still like a back and forth. It's still a good match. Like I seem to enjoy those a little bit more these times, especially with the guys that I know.
Yeah. And so with that, we're going to bring up the Canadian to talk about, give his reflections on the fight. So just hang on so that we'll bring him on with you and I.
All right, for sure. That's nephew right there. Let's get it.
Tio! What's up, man?
What up?
How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling
real good. I'm feeling mad good.
Okay, so give us your thoughts about the fight, going into the fight. And so 619 said you were trying to play mind tricks from the very beginning. You were calling him out as he was wrapping up his hands. What were your thoughts? Was that part of the game plan?
No, actually, I found myself. So the day of the fight, I woke up like I went to bed right after that live, and I was like mad nervous. In the morning, you know, like I didn't even like I didn't eat. I ate like some granola, and then just like just waiting till like 8 or 9 to head out there. And by the time I got there, I was just excited. I was just so ready to fight. I was just dialed in on like, yo, where's Andy? Where's Andy? Where is Andy? I'm ready. Um, I was trying to get in his face. I was trying to get in his head a little bit, but the game plan was to bob, weave, go to the body, send them uppercuts out of nowhere, give them straight punches down the pipe. But my legs weren't there, and I didn't have any energy. I didn't make responsible decisions on my part. Making sure I was energized, making sure I had proper nutrition, uh, making sure I had proper energy. You know, I don't think anybody would say cardio was the issue. It was mainly just energy because I was tired going in the fight. But I figured 619 is hitting me hard. We're fighting. There's no going back from here. So I gotta come up with a new game plan now. And so my new game plan was stand there and let's just see who falls, you know? Stand there and let's see who falls. Try to just go for it.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I expressed to you was your move a week before you actually fight him, or 2 weeks before you actually fight him. Did you feel that had any impact on you from moving from St. Louis to LA 2 weeks before your fight?
No, because I've I've done I went to Scrapyard on less time, you know, and then the same thing like going to Virginia with like a week of the fight, and I think it's it was a nutrition thing. It was irresponsible nutrition on my part. Because 2 weeks is like ample time for me to get the runs in, ample time for me to get the work in, and it's ample time for me to get the nutrition in, you know. But um, between like not not really like not really doing no sparring, between me just running and eating and shadow boxing, forming the game plan, and just like keeping myself ready. Between that's all I was doing 2 weeks of the fight. I'm not gonna lie, I made bad decisions in how I approached getting ready for it, and my irresponsibility on not eating the day of the fight, which I think was like the main thing. Because if I had energy and if I could pick my legs up, like it would have been lit. But um, no, it was I beat myself. I beat myself. And props to 619 too. He came in, he trained for that fight. He had mad cardio, when he was dazed, when I knocked his muffin cap loose like I'm gonna do again, he stood there and took it, He had a chin on him. He just didn't waver. So it wasn't gonna be an easy fight. And I prepped him and I give him his props for that. But we gonna run that back. I don't care who I gotta go through. We running that back because I could have beat him. I could have beat him, and I'm going to beat him. I didn't take it as serious because I had the game plan already, and I knew what I could do it. But it's a mindset thing, Gotta approach these things with your heart in the fight, and but you also have to have your mental in there too, though.
Right.
We talk about loving the fight and like having your heart into it, but you gotta actually you gotta approach it up here too, because mindset and mentality is it goes a long way in a fight. And I was ready to go to war. I still am. I wanted to run it back like right Like after I had some pizza, because like they had some free pizza at the event. I had some pizza and I was like, man, if I wasn't like dead tired, we could run that again, man. But nah, I'm not going back to the drawing board. I'm not doing nothing different except training harder and training more and being consistent with my training. And the biggest change I'm making is eating a full meal before the fight. That's my biggest. That's my biggest. That's all. That's all I need changing. Silas is going to be a hard opponent. But I'm gonna run. I have to run through Silas. I'm gonna rip him to shreds because like all respect to Silas, he's gotten way better and he's like a great fighter. But nah, 619 got my strap and he ain't getting that.
And so with that, what's up, Bushido? How you doing, brother?
Sorry to just kind of drop in.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh man, so just got home. What's up, Canadian, Daniel, Tiny Tank? Much love to all you guys, and more than happy to hop in here. Yeah.
And so what's next for the Canadian then? Right now he talked about Silas. Is that the next move for him?
Is it?
Or you just
I said 619, give him my rematch now.
or is the rematch I guess, is that the most pressing thing, or how do you set this up?
Who, them?
Well, I'm talking Tiny Tank or
okay. Well, hey,
Bushido.
Man, and this is only a day after the event, so it's kind of hard to say. I've got this question asked to me by Daniel show, and it's always I give him the Dana White, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? There's a ton that goes into matchmaking. I mean, to me, Silas kind of makes sense. You know, the dude's big, strong, and tough. He's been getting better, and Aiden can run through him. And hey, that makes sense to me. Rematch.
When are you trying to fight again, bro? Canadian?
Next month, as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, you did tell me. Actually, you came up to me right after.
Right after, man. Right after, man. I'm eating before that fight. We're gonna try to run that back.
I told you, bro. We talked about it. I told you. I'm like, eat, man. Come
Fact. On. Yeah, you're right. See, Tio knows best. Tio knows best.
Well, I know the 619 said that he doesn't believe that the rematch should be warranted. He believes that that the Canadian should be fighting someone else before he gets to 619.
He's tapping on my power. That man is tapping on my power, man.
I understand that. Hey, I understand that. But I mean, who else has 5 wins? You know.
Yeah, it's true.
We do have guys that I feel deserve an opportunity as well, or are getting there at least. But there's a case for the Canadian again. Also, there's multiple ways we can go, but man, we'll see how stuff plays out in the group over the next week or two.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not gonna whine about a rematch. I'm not gonna beg nobody, and I'm not gonna bitch about it. I'm gonna sit up here. I'm gonna get ready, and whether it's Silas or whoever, because people have been working for that rematch. Silas had a good case against him. He fought early. He had mad nutrition stuff he did wrong before his fight against 619, and he just he was a little raw back then. MDH, his 619 fight lit a fire under him. He was coming back, getting that cardio right. I feel it, man. Everyone wants that shot at 619, but nah. I'm not getting paid on my belt, man. Like, nah, I'll eat something. Come on. But you know what? I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna stay active in the community, and I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to whoever I have to do it to roll up a 619.
All right, so
taking myself. It's right here.
So Canadian, yeah. So how can they support you? Right. So
You guys can support me. I got Murder Bear merch. If you see this is Elevated Mindset Combatives, Lil Dzo's product, the elevator on the back. And I got my own personal merch. I was selling some at the event. Shout out everybody that got some, man. Tank, Bastida, Tank. Oh no, I'm sorry. Tank, Bastida. Y'all got some on the way. I'm restocking now. I'm getting more made as we speak. It takes money though. I just moved here. You guys can support me. Like send a link to my company, man. Link my company, Cash App, typical, Izzy Typical. My Venmo is murder merch, murder merch, murder merch. It's in the group. Hit my chime. Come out and train with me. Like my page. If you into acting, if you into writing, if you got a business, sponsor the kid. Or just work with me, just fuck with me. I'm out here just trying to I'm selling my merch, I'm getting a gig, I'm trying to be a bud tender. And I hope that falls through. If it's all just a work in progress, man. I've always been about self-sufficiency because in St. Louis, camaraderie is not there like that. The OnlyFans is coming soon, what's crazy? I'm really dropping an OnlyFans, but it's not going to be like the freaky OnlyFans. It's going to be Friendly Freak Media with my broadcast partner, La Cream, and I'm going to be under the name Curly Cajun. We're going to be interviewing adult stars. We're going to be interviewing sex workers and people in that industry, just having conversations, breaking the stigma of the industry, and really just seeing who they are as a person. We're going to be providing that content later this year. My movie is coming. I'm just working to get the bread, and I'm making shirts as we speak. Shout out to my family, Melissa. That's Queen Customs with a K. St. Louis is on. Support Cornelius and Campbell LLC. We hire artists and creatives, just like Hard in the Fight, and we work with them to increase and boost their platform so that they can make their art without having to worry about the bills. I've always felt like it's not just something that's new to me, but I've seen that other creative and all kind of media aspects and forms not creating art. I've seen an artist stop painting because she gotta pay rent every month.
There's not an infrastructure to support artists.
Yeah,
and so certainly
artists can't make it out to Streetbeefs West Coast or the OG yard. Gorilla and I was talking about that. He was like, "Man, I don't think 619 going for all the straps like you, because who's gonna go out to every branch every month? That's a real thing. That costs money. Them flights ain't cheap." And Cornelius and Campbell LLC is a place in my vision that's going to help creative people like fighters and artists, rappers, singers, painters, like me, actors and writers, create what they have to create without having to take that stuff into account. Because nothing should stop the art ever.
All right. Word. Well, I appreciate your time, Canadian. So for those who follow the Canadian or are fans of Canadian, please follow him, purchase his merch so that he can eventually create, continue to cultivate his LLC, but also eventually get his movie done. So we appreciate you, brother.
He gasped. I hit him and he coughed. You know what that means. You know what that means.
All right, brother. We appreciate it. So Tiny Tank. All right, brother.
Much love, Izzy.
All right, gentlemen. So let's talk about this. So we know that there was one particular fight that was kind of a beef that kind of started on Facebook that got into the yard with Wedo. And I don't know what the other gentleman's fight name. I know his real name.
Punchline.
So Punchline. There you go. And so, what was your impression about that fight?
Hey, man. Well, I was, Weddle hit me up about that fight. I saw it like develop. I was in that thread. I was reading those comments, yo. Like, I saw it go back and forth, and I'm like, oh, Weddle's a little serious right now. It's a little serious. So they went back and forth. He asked him, we all go back and forth with banter in the group. Fighters do that, but Weddle specifically asked him, like, hey, like, I don't like what you're saying right here. Like, stop. And the dude went back and forth with him. So Weddle hits me up and he's like, hey, man, I'm trying to fight. So I'm trying to set this up. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to tell you, yeah, like I'm not going to tell you, yeah, that's a matchup. But if you get selected and if you're there, you guys are the same weight, then we can make that happen. And we were actually already a few fights in, I think, to the event. And he was like, I see Weddle looking around to see if Punchline was there. And then he sees him get there and he's like, all right, he weighs in. And yeah, we knew it was going to go down. And wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the cool thing about Streetbeefs is there's all that talking, right? And especially in the West Coast Facebook group, that's kind of just like what we do. We like to poke and prod, and obviously at the end of the day, it's all love. But we do have a platform, so if someone's going to really call you out, we can do it. We can put it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And we can, if you want to do that, then do it. So I think that's kind of what Weddle was kind of proving a point here is like, hey, you can't just anything, especially to, Weddle's kind of like a high profile fighter and a personality for us. And someone to just kind of come in and say to him, I feel like he kind of just wanted to put his foot down a little bit and say, hey, hold on a second. You know what I'm saying? This is who I am. So, hey, Wendy, can't wait for y'all to fight, man.
Yeah, he's certainly like an enforcer. So we actually have him on as a guest. So let's actually bring on Weddle to talk about that fight.
All right, let's go.
Weddle.
What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm really, really fucking drunk right now. So I apologize for all the stupid shit I'm about to say right now, but I'm really drunk.
Yo.
I'm at a volleyball tournament. Look at this shit. I'm at a volleyball tournament. We hanging out. We bullshit. I'm not playing, but I'm just bullshitting. Checking out all the ass. So yeah, I saw what y'all saying, man. So real talk though. Punchline came on there. He called me 619's Boon Coon. I don't think I'll ever forget that because I don't know what the fuck it means, but goddamn, it pissed me off. And then I said, hey man, I'd appreciate it if you didn't call me names because that's a trigger for me. I don't like that shit, especially if you don't know me. And he did anyway. And then I was like, hey, maybe we can set this fight up. And we did. And then I punched him really fucking hard. And he was like, that's good. And that's that. I guess that's it.
Yeah, because the fight didn't last long, right?
6 punches, my dude. 6 punches. Well, 8 technically, I guess. Because he threw 2 jabs. And then I threw 6 punches. And that was that.
And so I know that you expressed before the event that you didn't think he was going to show up. And so when he does show up...
I legitimately didn't think he was going to show up, yeah. So before the fight, I was looking around for him. I didn't see him. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, fuck. And then I started looking for other people I could fight. And there really wasn't anybody popping up. Everybody had matchups. Everybody was good. I'm not the type of guy to pop in there and be like, hey, man, I want to split a match up so I can try to get in, so I wasn't going to say anything like that. But I definitely did want to fight that event. And when I did finally see him show up, I got really excited. So I honestly didn't know how it was going to go down because I watched the video before I left. And in the video, again, he looks bigger. I look bigger than him. For some reason, I look bigger than my opponents in the videos. I don't know why. But he's like 6'2", 6'3", like 212. Like, he outweighed me, and he was 3 inches taller than me. And it's starting to get annoying because everybody thinks I'm just a bully running around beating up little people. But whatever. So yeah, we met in there and it was cool. I tagged him a couple times and he said that was that. But what I didn't expect is for him to jump himself out of the group and delete his Facebook account completely. I've never beat somebody off of social media, and I like that. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoy the fact that I beat somebody out of their social life. Dangerous is next, and then Golden Arms can catch it after that. Just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
Ooh, he said Dangerous and Golden Arms.
Dangerous is next. I'm gonna rearrange parts of that kid's face. I'm gonna move his nose. I'm probably gonna put some teeth where they're not supposed to be. We're gonna do it because he's the first dude to ever call me out in Streetbeefs. Like the day we met, this dude was like, "We might get mad." I was like, "We might get matched up," and he's like, "Yeah, man, we might." And he goes, "We all know how that's gonna happen." And I was like, he goes, "We all know how that's gonna go." And I was like, "How's it gonna go?" And he said, "I'm gonna beat you up." And I said, "Cool." So now we're gonna find out. I just needed a couple fights so he knows what he's getting himself into. But Dangerous, you next, big homie. If we can get the matchmakers to make it, I'm gonna crush your soul.
So we have 619 taking souls, and we have Weddle crushing souls.
Yeah.
So y'all,
Just
so y'all in the business of souls.
I crush people. I know he likes to take souls, but I like to make people retire. I really enjoyed that. I think I'm gonna make that my thing. I want people to just not want to fight anymore. Like I found out this shit's not for me. I think that's my goal.
So what is the lesson in this fight, right? Because I know the Tiny Tank and Bushido both were saying, well, if you're going to talk crap in the group, just make sure you can back it up. So it seems like that's a lesson.
Yeah, man. That's a massive lesson. You can't just show up in Streetbeefs in a group of people who literally will fight you. Like literally will fight you. You can't just show up and be like, "Hey guys, I'll beat anybody in here." That's not how it works, man. Like he just, he showed up, he talked some shit. He literally said it can't be too hard to beat you because you quit in your last two fights, which makes it all the sweeter that I made him quit. I'm not gonna lie. He quit everything. He quit his entire life. He quit half his life right now. Yeah. Hey, I'm on a live. Go away.
All right, what
it's all about people's kids come up chat with me. They're cool though. Here's these little shits right here. So yeah, there's a lesson in there. Like I know it's a lot of guys. The first thing they do, they pop in and they call out the champs. They called out, the Canadian when he used to be the champ. They're gonna call out 619. They call out Shinigami. They call out everybody. You know what I mean? You can't do that. Like walk in, get a couple fights, see what it's about first, and then call people out. Like I was in this group for a month before I even talked any shit. You know what I mean? Like establish yourself before you go running your mouth, and then run your mouth. We love that shit. Once we know you, talk all the shit you want. Like Hitman,
Exactly.
Hitman can talk all the shit he wants. We love that guy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That works.
But Golden Arms requested a bout with me. I don't think that's a good idea for him, but I think I'm going to see if we can oblige him one of these days. After Dangerous. Dangerous is too pretty. You can't be a fighter and be that pretty. I'm going to have to wreck some stuff. Not to move some things around for him.
Well, all right, brother. Well, we look forward to your upcoming fights. And so where can folks follow you to make sure that they're up current with what's going on with you?
They can't, bro. Fuck social media. They can follow me at Heart in the Fight. That's about it.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I don't really. Not a big social media guy.
Well, follow him with the Weddle and the Mexican show that's coming up this Thursday.
Watch that shit for sure. Oh my!
All right, with that.
They just tipped my chair back. So these little assholes just
he got pranked by some kids. Right,
I know. I got pranked by some punk ass kids. Round 2, about to fuck some kids up right now. Oh, fuck them in the face so fast. They're not good fighters. They're really not good fighters. It's an easy win for me. Hey, asshole, stop. God damn. Anyway. I'm out.
All right, brother.
You guys
We
have a good
appreciate
day.
it.
Thanks for having me
All
on,
right.
boy.
Character, man.
Oh man, they are characters. I mean, you gotta love 619 and Weddle together because they're just like they're characters independently, but when you put them together, it's like it amplifies this character.
Yeah, that's just perfect.
Yeah. And so, what's next for West Coast Street Beef? Street Beefs West Coast.
Keep putting events, growing the family, picking out the trolls, man, and hopefully the BLK stuff, man. Really push things to the next level, and that's all. Happy, man. Two events back to back. Tons of good fights, and Chiefs fam.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when are the next signups?
Did you say the next signups?
Yes.
We're gonna post them soon, very soon.
Yeah, I think within a week and a half, we're gonna have the sign up in the group. That's another thing I wanted to mention, man. We want to get that group to like 5,000 members pretty soon. I'm loving what it's shaping up to be, man. I love this group. I love the smack talk. I love and everybody just collectively understands what we're about. And when you don't, it happens what happened at this last event, you know. So
Right.
that's cool. Also, real quick, I wanted a big thanks to Barefoot Farmer and his team, man. Those guys, there's 2 cages there now. This cage that you guys are about to see was awesome. The sand that was used there is something that we're gonna adopt here for the sandbox in Vegas. The fighters liked it better, you know. It's not as grainy as the one we have here that messes fighters up. So maybe we're gonna do that. Barefoot Farmer just makes everything so easy, so smooth, you know. And he went and bought like 100 pizzas. So that guy's
Word.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sounds good. And where are they getting the sand from? I mean, just curious. I mean, how different is that sand from the one you have in Vegas?
Oh wait, that's from Home Depot, man. We get our sand in the Home Depot in a big ass bag, and we just lay it out. The fighters this last event in Vegas, fighters got there early, and we were wheelbarrowing sand into the cage right before the event, man. So it's dope. But yeah, that sand messes people up, so we might change it up a little bit.
Sounds good. Well, any last messages for those who are watching?
Go ahead, Bushido.
Oh man, just thank you to everyone in Street Beefs, the groups. Thank you to Heart in the Fight, always putting really good coverage on everything. Really, really appreciate that, and I can't wait to just see what's happening, man. A couple months from now, a year from now, we're gonna look back and be like, "Whoa, remember when we only had this many followers or whatever, man?" But nothing but positive vibes. I'm just riding the high right now from these 2 events, and it's amazing. So thank you to everybody involved.
Hey, thank you, Daniel. And we got to start doing something now because SB West Coast 10 is going to be big, man. It's going to be tight. SB West Coast 10 and SB West Coast 12. I'm planning to have something dope. So
we need more champions, more titles.
I have a lot of stuff to cover.
Yes, sir.
Well, sounds great. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show. Thanks for giving us those announcements. And so if you're a fighter, make sure you stay active in the group, but also respectfully, so that we can continue to build up this group and get us to 5K, right? So that is the goal. Get us to 5K, y'all.
That's what we're trying to do right now.
All right. Awesome, brother. Thank y'all.
Hey,
appreciate
thank you,
it. Yeah. Well, there you have it. So we got a little bit of the Scrapyard fighters and Fire Chicken to come on and talk about what transpired in their yard. And we also got Tiny Tank and Bushido to talk about what transpired in their yard in California the day before that. So, I mean, these branches continue to develop. They continue to cultivate. They continue to get bigger. And so support them in any way possible, whether that's viewing and subscribing to their channels, whether that's engaging the audience, engaging the community. So certainly if you have an opportunity, certainly engage, certainly contribute to Street Beefs in general, as it continues to grow, it continues to be this really big movement across the nation and across the world. So with that, we just have a few announcements. I don't know if you saw, but in the Facebook group, you saw that BLK Prime is going to be looking for fighters for the next pay-per-view. So if you want to be one of those fighters, be sure to sign up. I'm not sure what all the qualifications are, but be active, sign up, and hopefully you get chosen for the next cards that come up. Now, in previous, about a month ago, we had the Heart in the Fight, Show and Prove heavyweight kind of debate around who are the top 5 heavyweights in Street Beefs. We're going to be doing a very similar thing coming up, and it's going to be with the light heavyweights. And so we are going to bring a bunch of fighters to come together to debate who are the top light heavyweights in Street Beefs. And we're going to have 2 categories, boxing and MMA. And so that will be on our show and Prove. So make sure you're looking out for those things and subscribe to the channel to get up-to-date information on that show. But also coming up this Thursday, we have Wedo and the Mexican, where they will be giving their 2 cents, their reflections, their impressions on what transpired in their fights, but also they're probably going to be reflecting on the other fights that they saw and they witnessed while they were there. So make sure you tune into that. So subscribe to Heart in the Fight YouTube channel so that you can get access to that content. And so if you like what you saw, like what you heard, please subscribe to our channel, but also subscribe to Street Beefs channel and subscribe to all the branches channels as well. If you want to sign up for a fight in Virginia, make sure those things are held at the Street Beefs Facebook, but also on their website. And if you are in the Washington State area, you can go to the Scrapyard Facebook and sign up there. If you are in the California, the Las Vegas, or Arizona area, be sure to go to Street Beefs West Coast Facebook to sign up there. There will be a fight every month at each event. So there'll be plenty of opportunities to glove up and test yourself. And as I always say, and I think because these words are really important to resonate for you to understand, is that the West Coast fighter Fiji always says this, it's in these fights where you learn the truth about yourself. So remember to put the guns down, gloves up, and test yourself so that you can learn a little bit more about yourself. All right, with that, we want to thank y'all for joining the show. Hopefully you had fun. Take care. Appreciate it.